Hi everyone, how are you doing? This is your favorite host sjsrana, sjsrana reporting for May 23rd, 2022, time about 700 hours UTC. So today again, this is going to my sixth session. We had a short video uploaded just a few weeks back, but that you can count it as six. So this will be seventh session. Today we're going to discuss some of the topics which are important, and I'm going to update on global events, specifically on the Russia-Ukraine war ongoing and how it's panning out with the next other events. So all in all, we had at least some respite from the coronavirus. We saw some global events where some of the nations, out of many nations, have reported a few upticks, but other than that, mostly 70-80% of the nations are finding some respite from coronavirus. But as this coronavirus has subsided, we see popping up of another virus, which is the monkeypox virus. So hardly we were able to take respite, and monkeypox is out there knocking the doors. And what's going on with this monkeypox virus is basically from the Africa regions, basically the West and Central Africa regions, specifically Nigeria and other surrounding nations. This is mostly seen contained there, but now this has gone across the globe. So that's concerning. This has gone over the Europe. This has been found in US. There has been case reported in New York. There has been case reported across US. Many cases in the UK as well, and it's spreading across. So what's this monkeypox virus all about? All these viruses and pathogens I have predicted. If you go back in my video, in my YouTube session, you will see I've been predicting all across that world will not get free from pathogens. I repeat, world will not get free from pathogens, folks. One simple reason that there are many pedophiles, pervert predators racing, honking across the streets of India and elsewhere. There are many other pedophiles which are set loose, and these pedophiles are basically the producing agents of the pathogens. And you see them across everywhere. Specifically, India is known as the pathogens or rape capital of the world. It is also known as pervert predators capital of the world. India produces the maximum number of pedophiles for the world population, for the world community. So India is the only nation, you can call it a demonic nation in that way, a evil devil nation, which produces the maximum number of pedophiles, pervert predators. And India pervert predators are so common, like I find it all across over here where I live, reside here in Sector 60 Chandigarh, also known as Phase 3B2 Sasnagar Mohali. Every other house or next house is filled with some of the other predator or pervert pedophile. And these pedophiles have guts to stalk, track every female entering around the neighborhood. They are counting all the females around the neighborhood. And mostly I've seen a very bizarre scenario, only it happens in India, where the family members also support these pervert predators. So let's say if a family is having their son as a predator, a pervert predator, then their whole family members will support the perversion, the pedophile. This is only possible in India. You don't find it anywhere in other world. You will find exclusive cases where maybe if it's a brother, if it's a son, if it's a father, then they will isolate themselves from the other family will isolate. But in India, India is the only demonic nation, a devil nation that way, which will have pedophiles and the whole family will support the pedophiles and the perversion. Because perhaps their father have done the same perversion, pedophiles, and they are passing that same genes towards their next generation and so on and so forth. And this is only possible in India, folks. And that's why you see marital rapes very common in India. Since 1947, India government has allowed marital rapes of India females. And you find it every now and then on the news bulletin, whereas females are requesting India government to let them free from this slavery, sex slavery in bedrooms, also known as bedroom rapes of India, where pervert predators, pedophiles rape their wives, and they have no other recourse. They don't have any judicial recourse. They are only supposed to basically fight with the pedophile, or they're supposed to basically follow their own track or way. But most of the time you see that these news are making shape, but India government is reluctant to make any law or to give any respite to the females, because India government itself is having a lot of pedophiles, folks. You don't think that these governments are saint? Do you believe that these government people, all these people are saint? Then if that's the case, there'll never be corruption. There'll never be any corruption. India is known for corruption also. It's having high level of corruption everywhere. Also, these pedophiles are residing inside, forming groups inside the government branches. And that's the reason why India Pedophiles Association is very common across neighborhood. And this pedophile association runs the games mafia, metaphor games mafia, where they entice and trap enslaved female by running some game across the neighborhood, parking some car here, there, or doing some action here or there like fools, like monkeys. And that's the reason monkeypox virus is across the world now, because these monkeys over here, who are pedophiles in India, also known as monkeys, they behave in such a manner they try to imitate an action like a monkey. And these monkey pedophiles are all across the neighborhood. I find it everywhere across my neighborhood. I'll share some clips with you, which are my CCTV or some personal taken clips, and you'll find these pedophiles doing some parking of the car just adjacent to your house to do some metaphor game, and then you'll find some idiot, some pedophile doing some funny things looking at the sky. So these are the cases where you find it, these pedophiles, perversion is all across in the neighborhood, especially phase 3B2 Sasnagar Mohali is popular for impersonators and pedophiles. We have huge amount of perversion here, pervert pedophiles population residing in Sector 60, Chandigarh. It's become very popular hub for trafficking females. So every now and then you'll find racing, honking people on the streets. It becomes like a GT road, like a Grand Trunk Road of India, just a small street, hardly like about 7 meters wide. It'll become like a GT road. Why? Because officially trafficking of females is taking place, folks. It's not that people don't know, officials don't know. They know they're themselves participating, or they're you can call retired officers or retarded officers or renegade officers are also pedophiles, because they've carried the perversion throughout their service to the government service or some other branch, maybe military or army they're serving, but now they carry on perversions towards the neighborhood. So whenever you find these retarded officers, pervert officers, you'll find the whole neighborhood turn into a perversion den. And every female is for them is an object for sexual gratification act. Every female, they count every female, they know every female which is entering here and entering outside, and they are keeping track of everybody. It's like a surveillance machine here. So folks, this was just monkeypox virus, which I've discussed a brief, and I think the basic ingredient for monkeypox virus spreading of this pathogen is basically interchange of bodily fluids. So where else you'll find these virus filled of virus bodily fluids? In pedophiles, in pervert predators, and especially you should thank India, who is producing maximum number of pervert predators and pedophiles for the world community, and they will produce more pathogens than anybody have ever seen in the history. I'm telling you folks, just mark my words, this will happen. India will produce maximum number of viruses, pathogens. It's a hub for producing viruses and pathogens because of it's a hub of pedophiles, it's a hub of pervert predators. Anyways, I've discussed enough on it. I'll move on to the next topic, which is GDP of India. Recently, the corrupt WEF, World Economic Forum, officials were very bullish. They released a statement. I'm going to share the clip in my next video, and the whole view graphs will be shared with you. You can watch the next segment after this. They recently, the WEF officials, you can call the corrupt officials, were very bullish. They recently released the statement, oh, they're very bullish on India. All of a sudden, all of a night, while the whole Moody, the whole other analyst agencies are downgrading India now and then, including IMF. IMF has also downgraded India, UN has also downgraded India because of many headwinds India is facing on GDP forum. But the corrupt officials of WEF, World Economic Forum, you must be very careful on WEF. They're having corrupt officials who are having nexus with India government and some under agents who are basically manipulating the data, messaging data, and they've recently released that, oh, they're very bullish on India for some reason, and India GDP is going to fare off very well. While so far from 2020, I've been predicting that India GDP will not be more than 8%. It'll be sub 7%, if not above 8%. That's what I predicted in 2020. And you can see that all India pundits were predicting the other way and other different agencies. But then later on, by the end of 2020 and 2021, they all said, yes, we understand India GDP is not more than 8%. And now it's been rated as 6.5, 6.7% FY22, FY23, and even FY24. So till 2027, I don't find India having a GDP above 8%. If any agency or any other analyst is covering India as above 8% or 9% GDP, then folks, they're belligerent liars, they're telling lie and they're manipulating the data. They're doctoring the GDP numbers for India because perhaps India government or India agencies have given them some lure, some corruption that, oh, you give this number to the world so international investors can flock into India and they dump the investment and then they scratch their head where the investment is gone. That's what is going on with India. India is known as a corrupt capital of the world also. Anything in the international agencies, UN, UNSC, if there is a corruption, India will be the first one who will do the corruption. If it's the WF, India will be the first one who will corrupt the entire WF. Or if it's IMF, you put these people in and you'll find corruption following. So it's the second name of India is corruption. They're full of corrupt people. Officers are full of corruption. For everything in every file it moves in India. There are people who are sitting like vultures, eagles, who are preying upon innocents, who are going to do corruption in their department to do the work. Specifically thank to the new elected leadership of Punjab, which is Bhagwant Mann. He's a new leader. He has just come up under AAP guidelines, and he has basically taken this cleaning up effort of the corruption. So recently we have seen since past 2 months, ever since he has become Chief Minister of Punjab, North India, he has proclaimed that there will be no corruption at all in Punjab. He'll weed out the corruption, corrupt officials. Anybody finding corruption in the official department should immediately report to. He has given a WhatsApp number. Can you believe? So these kind of people, leadership is what people need in the world, and it's such a nice to see this person, Bhagwant Mann, who has been doing many different benefits, or the, you can say, grand benefits for the humanity. He is trying to put up a lot of good efforts to make sure that this northern region of India known as Punjab becomes corrupt free, becomes progressive, becomes much more better, and a drugs free mafia nation. So anyways folks, moving forward, we'll see next impact on this Ukraine-Russia war. As you've seen, I've already predicted since 2020 that World War III will happen. In fact, in June 2019, I was the first one who predicted with the hashtag MAY 2020 WW3, World War III. So this was my hashtag under sjsrana. Yes, it's Surendrajit Singh Rana. I'm sjsrana. I'm already officially reporting every time, and if there are imposters, impersonators, I know many impersonators around my neighborhood next door. I know, I'm just not going to divulge their name, but they are perfect impersonators planted by government agencies to basically sabotage the identity of sjsrana. And they run all metaphor games around. Many say they are raping females around because they are pervert pedophiles. Many imposters are basically pervert pedophiles, and they rape females around the neighborhood. That's what their basic business is. And some of them are retired government officials. That's how it happens in India. Many of them are pervert predators and pedophiles. So anyway, folks, moving on. This new thing which is going on with the Ukraine-Russia war, we'll see some more other effects because I told you in the beginning it's going to linger on. It's the World War III initiation, and Russia has taken up the step for their own reason. If you look at from the viewpoint of Russia is trying to basically put up the effort to contain NATO. But if you look at the aggression, well, everybody agrees, the whole world community sides with Ukraine, and those innocents, those families, those females, those would-be mothers who are suffering because of the bombing of many areas, specifically the eastern northern zones of Ukraine. All you can see Donbas area, Crimea and above area are all occupied by Russia. So Russia is already trying to encircle the whole Ukraine, if you see the current trend. And I'm giving you some heads up that it is going to circle the whole Ukraine, and Ukraine will be in the circle. That's what it is trying to do. Russia, I know the Putin minds how it's working. He's trying to connect all other frontiers of Europe with this you can say annexation of Ukraine, or you can say with the war on Ukraine, just like Crimea, it is going to take over sooner or later, because nobody wants World War III. US is never going to conflict or confront directly, neither the UK, neither the any other NATO nations. So this is going to be a prolonged war. Russia sooner or later gradually will win because of the territorial advantages over Ukraine. But Ukraine is giving a fight. Look at the other side. Ukraine is already has been taken off for more than 78 days. It's now 80 days almost. Ukraine has been putting up good resistance. It is because of the leadership and the sacrifices of the soldiers who are trying to defend their nation. Well, so in that sense they are right. I cannot comment on any of those parties, Russia or Ukraine, because Russia has its own interests, Ukraine has its own interests. But the world community stands with Ukraine. End of matter. Even I do stand with Ukraine, the families, the innocents, the civilian suffering of the bombing. That's the simple reason, folks, and it's not going to change my stance no matter what Russia offers to India. Like Russia has silenced India because India is a corrupt nation, as you know. It's a very dubious nation, double standard nation. It will talk always double. That's what India government is all about. It will talk double. It's a dubious nation, and in that case, it is trying to import oil from Russia, and on the sidelines talking with America, US, and the Western Alliance nation. Oh, we are just with you. That's what India is all about, folks. You must understand. Every 8 out of 10 India population is downright corrupt, mostly morally, ethically bankrupt, pathological liars with exceptional hate crimes against the humanity, or truth tellers. So this is a generic demographic of India. Every 8 out of 10 India population is downright corrupt and pathological liars. This is very common in India. It's not a new thing. When you talk about India or India population, you'll find pathological liars spread across like pathogens, like viruses. So this is what is going on. So India is trying to now appease the Western nations, especially the US. It's invited the Biden administration. Somehow it's trying to lure the Biden administration and basically befooled. If Biden visits India, I'll say he has been befooled on this war again. And if he's going to be, some people call it like a jackass or whatever you call a Biden, because if he's befooled by these people again, they say fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. So this is what is good for Biden administration if he is visiting India after this Ukraine-Russia war ongoing, and Biden is somehow trying to portray to the US citizens that the taxpayers that, oh no, India is our partner, whereas it's importing oil from Russia. 80-70% of the military technology is imported by Russia, by India. Still, Biden administration is trying to befool the US citizens. So I don't know what you call it. Many people say it's a jackass. In that sense, I don't know. That's what I hear all across the net. And perhaps now it's going to be proven what he's all about. If he doesn't know what he's doing, basically, if he's visiting India while the Ukraine-Russia war is ongoing, it's a laughable situation, and all NATO nations must take heed of this leadership, Biden leadership. What kind of leadership he offers to the NATO nations where he is visiting India while this Ukraine-Russia war is ongoing, and he's saying, oh no, he's opposing the Russia, he's always against the Russia, but he's siding with India. So on what accord he's siding with India? That's what is a funny and laughable situation. Anyways, folks, this war is going to continue further, and I'm going to tell you that I see more nations getting involved sooner or later, as I predicted in 2020, and I predicted April 25th onwards, 2022, when Russia attacked Ukraine. Right there, then I predicted it's going to be a prolonged war. It's going to be World War III situation. This is my original prediction, which was in June 2019, hashtag MAY 2020 WW3. If you Google search it, hashtag MAY 2020 WW3, it was my prediction. So what happens is, when I predict things, it's so advanced in future that people don't understand it, and by the time they grasp the situation, they are basically too little about it. And the impersonators across here in India take all the advantage of circulating their agendas, and they say, oh no, we are the one, and they play metaphor games around here in 3B2, making fool of idiots, and only pedophiles join their metaphor games, raping females around, while innocents stay back. They have their door closed all the time because they are not participating in raping these females by running these metaphor games, which is popular in Sector 60, Sasnagar, Mohali, Chandigarh. So anyways, folks, I move on with the other topic, that very different thing is going on with Elon Musk and the Twitter takeover. So if you recently know, Elon Musk had announced that it's going to take over, or it's going to buy out Twitter with about 44 odd billion US dollars. Whereas the Twitter initially agreed, but now somehow it has put up some barricades, some detours on this deal, and is trying to basically take back the Twitter from Elon Musk. The reason is simple, folks. Twitter is a demonic body. Twitter is full of evils and demonic board members, I tell you. Twitter is nothing more than the demon of the social media. Okay, I repeat, Twitter is the demonic identity of social media. They're run by demonic people and demonic board members. They have nexus, they have corruption, they have cartels who are basically having political interests with nations, and they're working specifically with some cartels like India, you can say. India is having huge influence over Twitter, and these demonic entities in Twitter are basically running this show of social media, whereas they only allow some official versions, some speech which is only conducive to them, rest other free speech they're trying to curtail. So this is what Twitter is all about, and Elon Musk saw it. It saw that on the humanity level, Twitter is not helping anyone except the cartels, the nexus, the organized criminals or the organized people. And the general public is swayed away by their policing agencies and policing where they're trying to curtail the information or free speech. Now Twitter has backed out, or sort of trying to back off from this deal which initially it agreed, because it knows that free speech will be prevailing. So it's trying to somehow entice or entangle Elon Musk into this deal, and it's trying to somehow curtail Elon Musk that it doesn't take Twitter, because that's what the nexus, you can say the fight between the demons and the good people has started, folks. If you want to see that if there is any fight between the deep state and the good people, then you have to look at this Twitter Elon Musk fight, or this deal tussle. And I see Elon Musk has been very, very compassionate about humanity. He's a pure soul. He's trying to do a lot of good things. He may be brought into a lot of allegations, but all in all, he has a lot of fire inside him who's going to kindle good things for humanity. Obviously, everybody is having some of the personal interest in their things, but that doesn't mean that they don't work for humanity. Okay, folks, so Elon Musk, I must say, world must try to side with Elon Musk and oppose Twitter. If you have a Twitter account, then you're siding with devil. It's very simple, folks. You're still operating a Twitter account, you're sending tweets, you are operating a demon entity social media using that platform. I have basically stopped using Twitter since 2019, because in 2019 October, just before coronavirus, Twitter basically suspended my account for no good reason. So my sjsrana, which is at sjsrana, was suspended by Twitter demonic mafia in October 2019, just before the coronavirus was out. And then we saw the coronavirus across the world, because I predicted it in my tweet that May 2020 WW3, and I hinted that it could be pathogens, it could be some war, it could be some big thing coming up for the world. So that's what Twitter is. Twitter is a demonic entity, and if you have an account, you're siding with demon or evil entity. Anyways, folks, this is one of the brief, but I think Web 3.0 is going to be something which is going to set humanity free, because Web 3.0 is into final stages of development. Elon Musk is also behind this bandwagon, and a lot of other internet companies are basically waiting for Web 3.0, where they're going to decentralize from the clutches of these big companies, where they take the data, massage it, and use information for their own purpose. Specifically, when you see at India government is always having a tussle towards Facebook with all other social media. Every other social media, it's trying to have a fight to have data localization. What is data localization? India government is doing is trying to trap all the communication from 1.4 billion population of India happening to be their own data. So basically, some other companies doing all the work, the idea, but India wants to have the hijacking of the communication, hijacking of their data. They're basically hijackers if you look at the other side, because data localization is nothing more than a hijacking of the concept of other companies, foreign companies inside India. Because India says if you have to pass through us, which is 1.4 billion population, we are going to hijack your communication. What they do is then they massage the information the way they want it, and then they're trying to block, or they're trying to open the communication as the corruption or the cartel nexus works in the government. So you see the effects have been same on the Amazon, the effects are same on Facebook, the effects are same on all other companies which are trying to operate on a social media platform in India. India would hijack their communication. That's first thing you will see from a demon or from a devil. Devil will always try to hijack the communication, because communication is the key. They'll try to hijack it, and that's what the devil first work is, to hijack the communication. Never allow the open communication. That's the first work of the devil. Second, the devil does is implant the imposters, impersonators. Third, the devil does the dubious talks or double talks. Fourth, the devil will try to hijack or try to subvert or try to overtake the entities. That's how the virus spreads. That's how the devil spreads. That's how India government is trying to do data localization. I am totally opposing it, because they don't have the right over the people of the free speech. They have the right over the currency. They have the right over the political vendetta. They have the right over the laws, but they cannot have the right over the air passing through India. So tomorrow India government is going to say every air particle passing through India will be massaged by India. Maybe they'll release pathogens into that air, or they'll release some radioactive materials, because that air happens to pass through India. So India is that nation, man. You must understand what India is becoming now. It's becoming a devilish, demonic nation, because it says everything that passes through India belongs to India. So if air passes through India, it belongs to India. If oceans, water passes through India, it all belongs to India. So anything that goes through India is the part of India, and that's what it is trying to implement on the world level, on the total localization level. But I don't think that is going to be the case. The world entity must fight. Specifically, we have seen recently India financial terrorism. So these are the acts of demons, man. These are the acts of evil entities. What India government had a tussle in international tribunal in France recently, a year back, with Cairn Energy, also known as Capricorn Energy, that it was double taxing that Cairn Energy was operating in India, supplying different oil products, or you can say the petroleum products. And they tried to double tax them, and since 2013-14, they had a tussle going on with the India government in India courts over here, that you are doing a financial terrorism. But India government didn't listen, because they say our land, our laws. Anything that passes through India becomes our law. So if anything, any foreign female comes and marry an Indian male here, for example, it will be subjected to marital rape, forceful rapes of a female in India. That's the India law. They say when you are in India, you have to follow India law. So marital rape is law of India since 1947. So any foreign female, let's say a US female or a Sweden female or a UK female, comes to India and get married and settled in India, she will be subjected to marital rape. Bedroom rapes, that's for India government. And it says we have the law to rape female in bedrooms. What can you do about these demons, these devils? This is what the law is. They say 1.4 billion people are happy. Many females are crying in bedroom, but that's okay. They have to get raped. That's what marital rape definition of India government is. And it basically dictates that they are right, everybody else is wrong. That's what India government is. That's the next part of demonic or a devil entity that tries to always self-proclaim or indoctrinate the truth over other people. So folks, that's what it is. The Cairn Energy had to fight India government in international tribunal. And in fact, the international tribunal in France awarded Cairn Energy to seize all India government assets. That's the most shameful event that has ever happened in history of world over a nation, a democratic nation, where the international tribunal openly asked to seize the assets of India government. And that's just one simple company, Cairn Energy. Yes, it brought down the whole India nation down to its knees. And then India government had to join the hands and apologize to Cairn Energy that, they were wrong. They were trying to do financial terrorism over this entity. Now their financial terrorism is exposed. And once their terrorism was exposed, they had to give 1.4 or 5 billion or dollars to Cairn Energy back. That's what it is. That's how you have to treat India. You have to drag them to International Criminal Court, because 8 out of every 10 India population is downright corrupt, mostly morally, ethically bankrupt, and pathological liars. Yes, folks, pathological liars with exceptional hate crimes against humanity and truth tellers. So if these people are given the precedence in the world, I don't think humanity will prosper. I don't think humanity will have a way going forward. They'll all become devils and demons, because if such nations are given the precedence. I say it openly, folks. There's nothing to hide. India government is the only government or the only nation that does secretive EM weapons, military grade EM weapons on its civilians. I have been subjected to EM weapons, military grade EM weapons from India government past 7-8 years. And I was knowing it all along. I've been reporting it many times, but then I've become very open, because now I give the timings that when they turn on the EM weapons. Yes, folks, can you imagine this devil, this demonic nation is using military grade EM weapons against the civilians in civilian zones in a hidden covert tactic? If a bullet is fired, a grenade is launched, then everybody will know. So India government won't drop a grenade on civilians. Obviously they can do that, because then they will become open terrorists. But the hidden terrorists, the agenda of India government of being a hidden terrorist is when they use EM weapons, military grade EM weapons against civilians. Where do they house these weapons? To the next door, to the renegade officers, or to the retarded officers. You'll always find, if you have a retired officer of India government around your house, then they may house these EM weapons, and they may bombard you with EM weapons at the night hours. They are doing it, folks. It's not hidden. I'm something telling you truth now, and they have been doing it. I know exactly what location these people are hiding these EM weapons and what they're operating upon. And their whole idea is to subvert the civilians or the innocents or the truth tellers, eventually the humanity. So India wants to enslave the humanity using all these different techniques and technology. And the more India progresses towards the next century, I tell you folks, humanity has to face enslavement. That's the only thing I can see. I see it, I tell you, and it's my personal view. I may be wrong, but that's what I see, and that's what I warn you. The more India progresses, the more humanity will be enslaved, more pathogens will be circulated across the globe, because India is full of pedophiles. It's a pervert predators nation. Raping, it's called a rape capital of the world. India is the rape capital of the world. There are pervert pedophiles across, and India government refuses to release registered pedophiles or registered sex offender database for the world. That's what the demonic entity is all about. They will never release the pedophiles or registered pedophile sexual offenders database for safety of females. What else do you want me to tell you more about the demonic entities or the devil attributes of a devil nation? That's what it is. It's my personal view, but you will see I'm always right, and I stand corrected every time. You have to correct these people. You have to tell them that you are on the wrong pathway of the humanity. You should work for humanity, not against the humanity. You should not become a terrorist yourself. You should weed out the terrorism. You should not use EM weapons in covert tactics against civilians or civilian zones, and that to military grade weapons, folks. So if that is going on, you can understand what India will become later on. If you give them power, they will basically do the same thing for the whole humanity, for the whole globe. Covertly. They will not do it openly. Nothing India does openly. It does a double game always. You must understand. And Biden is going to be a biggest fool who is going to visit India very soon. Everybody is going to laugh, and it'll be his last term, obviously. He's the last president sitting on US. He will not be any more president. After this visit, he's gone. His presidency is gone, folks. Next president, perhaps, who knows, maybe, God willingly, Donald Trump may again lead the US citizens, because they are now filling the gap which has been left open. And Biden has going to prove every time his ratings have gone down. I don't want to speak much about it, because obviously it's his own sweet will, how he wants to run the nation. I have nothing more. But when he does something extraordinary wrong, like visiting India amidst the Ukraine-Russia war, then what can you say? What is he siding with? He's saying, okay, you will have Comcasa, you will have STA1 clearance, you will have SPAC, all those agreements, and you can still side with Russia. So Biden also is playing a double game then, or Biden administration is playing double game. I don't know. I'm telling you the truth. You have to research the facts out, and if I stand corrected, then I think you have to contact me and tell me, yes, you have been right every time. We have been befooled by this deep state. So folks, my part here is to help humanity to bring form to the next level, and you have to fight these deep state and these agendas, these agencies, these secret agencies who are always trying to oppose the truth tellers, and they're trying to all play the games of pedophiles, raping females around here and there. Yes, these secret agencies are the topmost rapists, they're raping females all across. And specifically in India, you find these agencies, who are basically keeping track of every female around the neighborhood, and then they're supplying this information and trafficking females around. So this is what is going on across here, and you find these racing honking bikers or racing honking agents, and you find these pedophiles parking cars in front of your house. It's nothing more than they're indicating they're a pedophile, they're a pervert predator, they're linked to trafficking females. That's why they park cars proximity to your house to indicate that they are basically surveillancing a female or someone who's going to meet you, so they're going to hijack. It's like the jackal, or it's like the hyena pouncing upon innocents. Okay, folks, I take the leave. I'm going to see you next time, next session, and you take good care of your health and try to stay away from these pedophiles. And there's the monkeypox virus. Let's hope we get rid of it before these pedophiles circulate new pathogen. Okay, I sign off. I'll see you next session.